Jesus on trial. A Bible story told from Luke chapter 23, verses 1 to 25. When the elders and the chief priest and the teachers of the law brought Jesus before Pilate, they accused him of all sorts of things. Anything they thought would give Pilate a reason to put Jesus to death. "He's misleading the people," one of them shouted. "He says we shouldn't pay taxes to Caesar," shouted another. "He claims to be the Messiah, a king," they all cried at once. Pilate raised his hand to call for silence. Then he looked at Jesus. "Is this true?" he asked. "Are you the king of the Jews?" "If that's what you say," Jesus replied. Then Pilate turned back to the crowd. "The charges you bring just don't stand up," he said. So the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law added even more charges. They were determined to see Jesus die. "He's a danger to peace and order," they cried. "His teaching has stirred up people all over the country. It started in Galilee and now it's down here in Judea." "You say he's from Galilee?" Pilate asked. "Well, Herod's in charge of that territory, not me. Take Jesus to Herod and see what he thinks." So the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law took Jesus to Herod's palace. Herod was thrilled. He had heard all about the miracle worker from Galilee and had always wanted to meet him, and he secretly hoped that Jesus would perform a miracle or two for him. But none of that happened. Herod asked Jesus questions. Jesus gave no answers. And all the while, the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law hurled their accusations at him. In the end, Herod and his soldiers simply made fun of Jesus. They dressed him up in a fancy robe to make him look like a king. Then Herod sent Jesus back to Pilate. "Listen," Pilate said to the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law. "You have presented your charges both to me and to Herod. Neither of us think that Jesus has done anything to deserve death. So I'm going to have him beaten, then let him go." "No, we want you to crucify him," shouted the crowd. "We want you to tie him to a wooden cross and leave him there until he's dead." "All right then," Pilate replied. "It's your feast time, yes? The time you observe the Passover? Well, at this time of year, I always release a prisoner as a gesture of goodwill. Why don't I release Jesus? Then we can all go home." Pilate didn't want to kill an innocent man, but he didn't want a riot either, and this seemed a good solution to him. But the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law weren't having it. There was a rebel and a murderer called Barabbas who was in prison at that time, so they called for his release instead. "Free Barabbas," they cried, "and crucify Jesus." Pilate tried one last time. "The man is innocent," he insisted. "What crime has he committed? He's done nothing to deserve crucifixion. A beating at most, maybe, and I'll gladly do that and then let him go." But no, the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law would be satisfied with nothing less than Jesus' death. So in the end, Pilate let them have what they wanted. He set Barabbas the murderer free and sent Jesus, the innocent man, to be crucified.